Good morning. Joining us this morning, the senior senator from Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren, author of yet another book. Don't have the slightest idea where she finds the time to do this. This is called Persist. It's part autobiography, part manifesto, part memoir of her campaign for president. Senator Warren, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
So when President Biden addressed Congress last month, there were a couple of points in his speech that could have come right out of your public speeches, especially one section on how government has played a key role in building the country and creating opportunity. It sounded just like your famous "you didn't build that alone" riff. Is there anything significant you'd be doing or saying right now if you'd won that Biden isn't doing or saying?
You know, I think of it this way, John. So much has changed over the last year. We've had a global pandemic, a racial reckoning, an armed insurrection, a president who was elected by a 7 million vote margin. And we have now already passed the largest rescue package in the history of the United States. So I see this as a moment when we have our toes right on the line for real structural change. Joe Biden, in that speech to the nation, laid out the path, kind of general terms, but it's there, about the things we need to do going forward. He talked about infrastructure, roads and bridges, communication, broadband, child care. Yes. He talked about how we pay for things. And part of the answer is we ask those who are wealthy to pay more. Yes. He's starting to lay out an agenda that I think is an agenda for building a stronger America. I think it's an agenda that meets the moment.
So a classic stupid media question on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being you're just thrilled to death. He's doing everything you wanted. Where do you rank him?
Oh, come on, John. You know that teachers never do grading until the end of the semester. So I got to wait until the term is over. But I will say he's heading in the right direction. And look, John, I have a job to play here. My job is to help him succeed.
Okay, so you're grading him pass, fail then. Okay, I get it. So look, as I mentioned, Persist, your new book, is in great measure a memoir of the campaign. You know, normally when a prominent politician runs from a prominent pol from a state runs for president, they're widely supported by the voters of that state. It's the term favorite son, or in this case, favorite daughter, would apply. But even though you've been elected and reelected to the Senate by considerable margins, it doesn't seem as if you were really the favorite daughter of Massachusetts voters during that race. Polls showed support for your candidacy. Here was lukewarm. And in the primary, you finished a distant third. Do you understand why that happened?
So I talk in the book a little bit about what was going on. I try to give an honest account of all the pieces as best I can. But, you know, it's a funny thing, John. I never felt like I wasn't supported in Massachusetts. I'm very grateful to the people of Massachusetts who, back in 2012, took a chance on someone who had never run for public office at all and put me in the Senate. I was very grateful for the fact that they put me back in the Senate a second time in 2018. I did my best when I ran for president. I got up every day and I fought for plans and ideas and values that I believe deeply in. And I fought from the heart. And that's the best I can do.
Did you run afoul, in retrospect, of a little bit of Potomac fever fatigue among Massachusetts voters? You know, fatigue about all the Massachusetts pols who get reelected and then run for higher office?
I don't really know. All I know is what I saw and what I did. And what I try to talk about in the book is give an account, as honestly as I can, about what happened, but mostly try to use that to talk about what we need to do next. You know, I'm a progressive. I make no secret about that. I am proud. But the ideas I fought for, progressive ideas like childcare, canceling student loan debt, wealth tax, those ideas are still out there. President of the United States is talking about at least some of that. And those are ideas that are widely popular. They're popular here in Massachusetts, but they are popular all across the nation. They're popular among Democrats, among independents, and among Republicans. So you get to fight for the ideas you believe in. That's pretty good.